Hello everyone, welcome back. As you all are aware, the second update for Humankind, coming after this Fabius Maximus patch, has been released and has addressed a lot of balance changes, specifically with regard to units and military. There have been production cost changes, combat strength changes, various changes to different effects, all that good kind of stuff. And there is one change in particular that stood out to me, which is this one right here. The Promakoi industry cost. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you already know that I think the Mycenaeans are one of the best ancient era cultures in the game. And now I think they might be absolutely insane. Specifically after the Egyptians have effectively been nerfed because of the requirements to build the Markabata, now requiring copper and horse, rather than just horses, which allowed you to get them really early. So, we're going to do something interesting. I've randomized my competitors as usual. I'm on a large map, but I've reduced the land percentage to 30, 2 continents, and New World is going to be on. What this means is that all the players are spawning on one single tiny continent, and you end up in a bit of a Thunderdome. So, normal pace, Humankind difficulty, and we are going to try to get the Mycenaeans and see just how crazy we can get with the Promakois. So I'll see you once we're loaded in. Alright, so here we are, bit of an odd position, right on the coastline. Don't see any obvious moves at the start. We can get on the high ground here, it's going to cost us 2 movement, but I don't see a better space to go. And we have discovered silk, which is really an excellent resource. Okay, going to miss the food down there, but getting some exploration is more important. So, we do want to go for an era up as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, I may have taken the wrong direction to ensure that happens. So we'll go for a quick hunt here. And of course the deer will come to me, because animals are dumb and attack you. In hindsight, it would have been better to probably go that way and get that food. I don't think you get enough food from deer to actually be worth hunting them most of the time, which is very strange. And I'm not finding like any curiosities or anything. Come on. Go for another deer here. Get on the high ground. We'll probably come up to the high ground. Nope. We'll attack from the low ground. That's fine. I was going to say I can shuffle up to the next high ground if it does that, but we'll just stay where we're at. Roll suicide again, and that's a little more influence and food. Alright, very slow start. Can't go after the mammoth, don't have enough health, don't have the good terrain that I need here. I'm just not finding any food. Wow, this terrain is conspiring against me at the moment. All I want to do is play the Mycenaeans. Please just let me find stuff. Okay, obviously deploying high ground. Turn 7, and I haven't even gotten another tribe yet, which is insane. I haven't even gotten an event, which you usually get at like turn 4. Maybe I end up getting the Hunter Era stars, which I almost never do, to be honest. Wait, haven't I not killed 4 deer at this point? This is why deer suck, right? Is you don't get enough stuff from them to be worth running around and grabbing all the other things you need. Okay, finally got another tribe. Down here, maybe. Looking okay. One thing you have to keep in mind with the Mycenaeans is that... Okay, let's get that extra hunting party. What we're going to do, split that guy off, split this guy over here, and you'll come hunt the mammoth. You'll come down here and search for more food. Hopefully this moves in a favorable direction. There we go. Okay. Then should get a rear attack here. But anyway, something to bear in mind with the Mycenaeans now is that... Ah, shit, I fucked up. Because this tribe is going to get is going to steal some of the food. I really don't like that mechanic, to be perfectly honest. I think it's a little bit silly. So you'll see I only have 10 food on each of these now, which is dumb. And now these stupid deer are blocking me. Go away. So we'll go here because then we can retreat up to the next high ground. Take that attack. And see, these guys are going to steal food from this deer now. It's a very frustrating mechanic, and I'm not entirely sure why it exists in the form it does. Okay, got a Hunter Star. Mycenaeans still available? They are. The thing is I'd really like more scouts that I can disband and turn into Promakoi very early. So I'm going to risk one more turn in this era. Oh my god, please. Why are there so many animals? I've never seen this many animals before. I'm going to go here just in case they take the low ground on either side. No, they're not going to. I really need to end this battle this turn, though, because otherwise this guy gets stuck in his spot until the next turn, and I need them to both grow. So we're going to take these attacks to try to finish this. Okay. Okay, finally got that food. That guy can separate. You can grab that food. Okay, there's my growth arrow star. I haven't seen any other players yet, surprisingly. And 21 and 4, huh? Take a while to grow. There are some good... It might be worth it. One of the biggest constraints now is your population for the Mycenaeans. But I'm going to take them, even though I haven't spotted anyone yet. And we are going to try to find a good location down here. And I suddenly have the hiccups for some reason. Alright. Oh my god. Just leave me alone. All I want to do is put stuff down. Why is it 6 turns to grow now? Wasn't it 4 before? That's one thing that I hope they change about outposts at some point, is that the outpost, the speed at which your outpost comes online is entirely based on production. And that really biases where you want to settle, and it makes food less valuable than it should be, in my opinion. Like, yes, when it comes up, you will have more population, but it's way more important to actually be utilizing a production queue early. Go ahead and make that attack. These units are all over. See if they come back. Yeah, that was very dumb on their part. Okay, so we want to shuffle like this. I'm going to see if they attack me. No. So they have the same combat strength as I do because they have the defending bonus. However, because I'm 2-on-1, I'll take away their adjacency once I manage to kill this unit here, which will be on the next turn. Okay. Retreat there. Still 3 more turns. Alright. Go for an attack on this tribe. How do you have... Oh, they're scouts now. Even though they were tribes before. I didn't know they could upgrade like that in the middle of a... battle. Well, I just have to let this fight... I just kind of have to retreat from this fight now. I can't win that anymore. Okay, the Olmecs. I have to pull these guys back in case they start looting my my outpost, which should be very annoying. It was also very annoying that I lost a scout there.
Come over here.
Okay. Finally turn this into a city. Just takes so long when you focus on food on your city settle, which is why I always recommend you focus on production rather than food. However, the Mycenaean's design really does incentivize you to get a decent amount of food in your start because of how the Cyclopean Fortress works and the amount of population that you want for supporting units. I'm just going to disband these scouts right away. If they attack me, my levies will be more than enough. I want someone on science to get my Promicoy up. And as soon as these guys vacate this position, I'll be going for another outpost kind of down here. Honestly, that's fine right there. I just want it up as soon as possible so I can attach. You'll notice I'm skipping the pottery workshop this game, and that's going to be because this continent will be so small that most of your territory is going to come from claiming it from other people. Okay, they're backing off there. I'm going to try to get this territory claimed as well for the silk. And we'll go for carpentry next because we do want access to archers. Finish up that Cyclopean Fortress. And it's time to start making some Promicoy. Go ahead and attach, actually. And that frees up another industry slot and lets us produce those Promicoy in one turn. If you go after San Lorenzo, you have this player here who seems like they're still in the Neolithic somehow. We have a few options. So I'm going to move that guy into science because I want an archer in this army. I don't want all melee because you can get into positions where you really, really do need ranged units. Even though the Promicoy are very strong units. Okay, let's get that archer out. And archers are still 90 production, even though Promicoy and warriors have both been reduced to 45. So it's twice as expensive to build them, which I guess from a balance perspective kind of makes sense. I see where they're coming from. I don't know how I feel about the change yet because I haven't played with it. This will be my first time. I think thematically it does feel a little bit weird. But from a balance perspective, I'm not really sure. All right, here we go. First army up. And, all right, so the Egyptians. Let's go after the Egyptians, since they are my closest neighbor. And this terrain is pretty good for melee, particularly if I come up this way. I'll have a high ground area to fall back to, whereas I don't know what the terrain looks like over here. And this looks like it might be sandwiched between like high ground or mountains or something, which will make it difficult for me to attack. Okay, I need 74 influence, so I'll get that on the next turn here. And I'll get the pottery workshop up here. Let's put you on expert policy with science and industry. And I am... Have I not met them? That's weird. They're suggesting over here. I mean, yeah. So then I could attach to Mycenae. Yeah, okay. I don't get as much benefit out of the silk right now, right? I'll get like a total of +4 production from that. But having another Cyclopean Fortress early in another territory is very good. There's a little bit of extra science and influence too. I'm going to let him move first, because then I don't have to worry about zone of control. And we're going to go the long way up. I'm not sure how it is I haven't met them yet and can move through their territory. But it is what it is. We're actually going to go for the high food spot. The Mycenaeans have plenty of ways to get a lot of industry, so going for that food focus to make sure we have the population to support larger armies. And here we go. How much river do we have? A fair bit. So 2 options here. We can go like domestication and irrigation for food. I think we are okay on food. We could go for writing, but I think what we really want is bronze working into organized warfare, specifically to allow me to use reinforcements, because after I take Memphis, once I go up against some of these other cities, I am definitely going to need reinforcing armies. Okay. Just straight into a surprise war with the Egyptians. Let's attack. Okay, so great position for me here. It doesn't really matter which area I shoot from in this spot. Wonder... Not quite. That's fine. This other levy will move in here, but it's really not that big of a deal. Now remember, Pharmacoi have Champion, which gives them more combat strength on the first round of combat, so you do want to try to use all of them to the extent possible. Maybe I could have come over here to try to block him off. I'm not, though I would have been moving through zone of control, so... But either way, I should make pretty quick work of this guy. And there we go. Okay, Memphis is mine, and they should capitulate next turn. Okay, and my scout. I'm going to keep the scout around because there's actually a fair few number of territories down here that I could claim. There's, interesting, there's another silk in that territory. It's good to know. I can actually add that to the queue. Let's finish up the Cyclopean Fortress as well. And Cultural Blessing. We'll go for the +2 influence on Main Plaza and +2 on Administrative Center. Also moves me towards Homeland, which will give me an extra little bit of combat strength on all my units. And there we go. Pick up Memphis in this other territory, so that's another free city. 20 industry and 15 stability. These other spots aren't quite as good. We'll work on the Cyclopean Fortress. One great thing about the Cyclopean Fortress... Ooh, and I even have a pyramid in here. But one great thing about the Cyclopean Fortress is that because it provides stability, I think you can continue building it even when your stability is recovering, just like Commons Quarters and Garrison's Quarters. So you can start building it from the moment that you capture a city, whereas, you know, if you're the Nubians or the Egyptians or whatever, you might have to wait for a little bit. Okay. So you're waiting here. And you will look for the next target. Hattusa is definitely an option. I'm not as worried about San Lorenzo, right? Because it's really easy to bully the Olmecs. But the earlier I can knock out the Hittites, the better. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I would really like another army before I do that. I might come and disband a unit. I think I'm going to. Let's disband the scout in here. I know he has veterancy, but that doesn't really matter that much. Alright. I'd like a couple extra units. Yeah, this is the closest spawn, so we'll just use that. Get some Pharmacoi. 2 Pharmacoi in 1 turn. Seems like a very balanced proposition. Reduce the create outpost cost. Okay, some runners running around. Okay, so the Harappans are up here, and I actually find the Harappans to be the most dangerous opponents in the Ancient Era because of that number right there. It means they have absolutely insane numbers of all their outputs, and they're able to support just constantly building military units. So you need to get a decisive blow against the Harappans at the very start of a conflict, because otherwise the war is just going to go on forever. Okay. Yeah, so Hattusa is going to be difficult to take right now with the forces that I have there. I'm going to bring these extra units up and wait a couple turns before I go for a war deck. Retreat there. And what do I need next? Let's see. Kind of want to attach this outpost, but I can't do that quite yet. And I don't want to use any more population for military. Let's go ahead and get this lumber yard up. And that will let me save up a little bit of influence. Actually, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to reinforce up here. So the idea at the start of a war with the Hittites here is that I take that high ground and can attack from there, right? Use my archers. Army composition, let's get that +1 combat strength on unit. I'm going to need that. And +6 faith on main plaza, looks good to me. I don't have a ton of territories claimed or anything at the moment. Okay. And you are just going to hold on for a bit. We could work on the obelisk, which is probably worthwhile. On very small maps like this, you really need to invest in religion or you'll get overrun early because of the proximity and number of neighbors that you have. So if you want religion on small continents here, then do bear that in mind. I'll just go for that spot. Just get that outpost up early. All right. Give it like another turn and we can... Ooh, Hattusa's empty though. Wouldn't quite... I'm going to give it one more turn. I want to make sure these guys are in the battlefield because they can still bring in reinforcements, right? Don't underestimate your opponents, right? You want to take advantage of their mistakes, but don't underestimate them because that's how you end up losing a lot of military units. I'm going to ignore that for a moment. Okay. So their units have come back, but so have mine. But the fact that they came back means they would have been in the area where they could reinforce anyway, most likely. Surprise war. Let's roll right in there. Okay. So we want our archers on the high ground. Oh, did we not finish? No, we don't have organized warfare yet, but it looks like they do have organized warfare. Okay. So mistake on my part. I thought I already had organized warfare. Do you want to block that? It's just a scout.
For your family.
I think we can ignore it for now. We can go deal... It'll attack my archers next turn, and we can go deal with it with one of these Promakoi. It's not a big deal. So really, I should have attacked on the last turn. I thought I had already finished organized warfare. So, bit of a screw up on my part, but these things happen. Might have to fight a little bit defensively here, given the health of this unit. Let's move into the city. Move you up onto high ground. And we'll attack the levies while they're on the river there. These Promakoi should survive an attack from going uphill. Okay. So we're going to get a rear attack here, but it is through fortification. Well, they moved. Well, okay, fine. Not the cleanest battle I've ever had. But it gets the job done. I'll probably lose a unit. No, okay. There we go. There's Hattusa. We'll need to move some military into it at the start of next turn so they can't just walk in and take it back. So I'm actually okay with replacing this now. I've claimed like the core territories that I need. I'm not too worried about spending additional influence for these other territories. So I'm going to replace that, and that'll prevent stability from collapsing in Memphis. Let's see. Closer to high ground works here, and if I end up attaching this territory to Memphis, which I probably will, that'll give me an extra production boost from where I have the Cyclopean Fortress. So that seems good. And let's finish the obelisk first here. And they just claimed it again, because I am a doofus and not paying attention. All right. Seal them up, and we'll just walk right back into Hattusa. I'm technically weaker here, but I have a major terrain advantage, so it should not be an issue. I can't tell where there it is. When you're kind of zoomed in, that yellow really blends in. It's hard to tell what their terrain, their deployment area is. Ah, interesting. Okay, well, this presents interesting options. Let's go like this. I know I'm attacking uphill here and, you know, on a river, but the first round combat strength bonus I get on the Promic way more than makes up for it. And there we go. Easy peasy. Then just, there we go. Now we're defending. Okay. And hold there. So if they attack the city again, those two Promic should be able to just, like, sit on the front here and defend against these guys through the fortification. Really not that big of a deal. Playing a little sloppy this game. Cultural conversion started. Okay, that looks good. We'll chase after these guys. Yeah, they were right to retreat there. I had good terrain, like with this uphill and all that, and they would have had to fight on a river and so on. So, good decision on their part. A little bit of science osmosis. Still working on organized warfare. I feel like I should have been done with that by now. No. We're really not interested in peace with anyone, right? We're looking to claim as many advantages as we possibly can. Okay, so we finish Obelisk soon. Let's get the scout up here in case that turns into a city. Which it did. It is definitely a city we do not want there. Enough influence to claim a wonder. I'm going to go for Temple. And the reason for this is twofold. First, I want the health regeneration on units, right? So I need to be able to heal my units faster because I'm going into a lot of conflicts. The other is the extra faith generation is going to help ensure that I'm getting those tenets that I really want. Specifically in the first tier, there is Hunt Infidels, that extra war support when you win a battle, which is really good. Alright, so next we want to get this city out of the way. So let's make sure that's done. Can't let that develop. This one's not as big of a deal. I can deal with that one later. It's not really blocking the pattern of development that I want, whereas this one is. Now, I could attack from the city here. I don't think that benefits me, though. These are both awkward attacks because I can't reinforce yet. So I think what I'm going to do is pen them in. And I did not mean to attack that. Whatever. I guess we'll kill this one unit and then they'll retreat. Unless they cycle correctly. No. Alright. Okay, now they're attacking me. Sure, fine. Put our high health units in front. Actually, that's fine. Like that. Trying to see if this is high ground. Sometimes it's hard to tell, but it looks like it is. Okay, so obviously let's blast these warriors on the low ground there. Come up here, get a nice shot. We can take out the spearmen. And because I think I own the territory they're in, yeah, there is still my territory, so they'll heal up over the end turn. Go ahead and knock this guy out with these two guys. Nope, okay. They'll retreat. We'll attack from here. So the nice thing about when the AI does stuff like this is they're losing war support for every battle they lose, right? So by having more battles, they're losing their war faster. Got a nice attack right here from the high ground. Easy fight. Okay. So I do not want to fight the Harappans yet. They are trouble. I could go up to the next era. And they've taken the Celts, which could have been interesting, actually. The Gazzetti have been changed somewhat. They're at 26 combat strength, which makes them equal to swordsmen, which is really good for the Celts. They needed that. Swordsmen have also been changed because they no longer require iron. Now, The Romans have also changed. Specifically, the Praetorians no longer require imperial power. You get them at Conquest, I believe, right here. So you get them attack earlier, which is a really big deal. There have been changes to poison as well. Noble Javelineers got a little bit of a buff. Yeah, a lot of options. Gothic Cavalry only requires 1 iron instead of 2 now, which is really good. Does also require 2 horses, which I don't believe I have. Don't even have 1 horse at the moment. I also don't have copper. Yes, I do. It's right there. Just haven't built it yet. I should probably do that. And I don't think I quite want to go up yet, because I still have some Cyclopean fortresses I'd like to build and more fame I can get. But I do need to think about it soon, because some of the good cultures are going to start being claimed. So, next. Let's go for San Lorenzo, I think. Though, looks like the Hittites still have another city up here somehow. I'm going to use my gold to heal, so I can just press my initiative here. And these two will continue just chilling in Hattusa. Sus I have no interest in keeping, really. What I can do is plonk down Temple of Artemis, and we can put it on a river because wonders exploit everything below them. So they're nice for filling in those spots on the river. And they, let's see, temple has to be adjacent to forest, I believe, which is why I can't put it there. So, like right here is probably fine. And we'll just let it use its production in such a way that I'm not going to lose that production when I ransack the city, right? So I get a little bit of value out of Sus, even though I'm going to be ransacking it. Okay, where's this other city? Looks like it's over here. I'm going to go up this way to deal with this army first. And they've chosen the Huns, so I need to end this war very quickly now. See who's still available. Okay, Huns and Celts have been taken. Everyone else is still available. If I could knock the Huns out of the game entirely, that would be great. I actually don't think they have any outposts, which means they can't purchase any of the stuff that they need. Actually, let's go for writing. I think I have enough food for the time being. Let's buy that lumber mill. Let's attach right here. That's a more critical location. We'll get our Cyclopean fortress going. Okay. So I'd really like to claim this city before the war ends. So I have to do this in 1 turn. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible. It might be. Well, if they attack me, then it's definitely possible. So I'd prefer to kill him from here so I can move these units in, but it doesn't look like that's an option here. Let's see what they do. At the very least, I'll be earning militarist Aerostars from this, even if I don't take it in this round. And it doesn't look like I'm going to. I don't have enough open space to take advantage of. This is no big deal. I've already taken their capital, so they're pretty crippled at this point. I don't want to risk those guys dying, so let's move in with these units here. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I moved them. See if I can take those scouts. Nice. I'm not going to kill him, so I'm not going to bother attacking. It's just more health I'll have to regenerate. And why don't you go ahead and give me Hattusa, even though I won't take their other city, but the Huns are pretty crippled at this point, so I am not concerned. And treaties. I'm actually okay with the non-aggression pact with the Celts. I really don't want to deal with someone with a lot of food at the moment. And someone who would be really good here for me are the Achaemenids because of that +2 city cap. It would be kind of fun to play the Goths just because of the Gothic cavalry. Greeks are very good as well and would help me catch up a bit on the science game. Let's see. Let me think about it. I did just play the Greeks, though, of course, so I do like to avoid playing the same culture twice in a row on the games I record. Though I did actually have another game that I recorded. I was playing a game where I didn't build any emblematic districts. And I won that game, but the main issue was that the audio got really messed up, and I don't want to re-record over all that audio, and now it's on an old edition, or an old version of the game. Yeah. So Shodelai don't require iron anymore either, by the way, in case you're curious about that. I don't think that's the pick for me, though I will have an advantage in religion. It's going to take too long to generate that advantage. How am I Aerostars? I'd really like to get another militarist star. So I'm going to keep delaying, and I'll just deal with whatever's available as the time comes. I mean, realistically, this is a game you're going to win by elimination almost 100% of the time, right? So realistically, I think it's better to go for a culture here, just because you want to go up early. But, like, in my heart of hearts, I really want that last militarist star. So I'm going to keep waiting. What happened to my last unit? Oh, he died from attrition. That's a little silly. That's a little dumb. I don't like that you take attrition literally from the turn a war ends if you have units in an enemy territory. It kind of doesn't feel fair, you know? Okay, let's get a turn into that Cyclopean Fortress in case we go up in the near future, which I'm certain we will. You're going to stay here because I can get an outpost down. Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't really matter where it is. Go ahead and purchase that. I'm low on food, but I don't have a great spot for food in this city. In fact, this Memphis is terrible for food. Really, really bad. Let's get a forge. I could go for a quick war declaration and try to snipe this unit here for my militarist stars, since people are starting to pick stuff. Not too worried about scout riders. I think I'm going to do that. Make that demand first. Let's see if they fall into it. I will zone of control them. Wait, how did they just take Hattusa? What? How does that work? Oh, for the love of God. Where were they? Okay. Well, this is a little silly. So what we're going to need is more units. Yeah, right there is fine. Actually, what's my composition? I have 2 Promicoy there. So these guys are kind of out of the fight for a minute because I can't heal them, right? So I need a full force of units here. Wonder, can I just walk in again? Yes, I can. Okay. Which will let these guys heal. They're going to come after me, though. Make no doubt about it. Okay, go back to making that, please. And let's grab irrigation. Okay, so they're coming back, which means I can start moving these guys back this way. And they're not going to siege, which is an interesting decision. I probably would have gone for a siege in their position, but they didn't. So, all right. And Mikane, we need, which I'm sure I have said Mykeen a million times, but I know it's Mikane. How many turns on Temple? Too many is the answer. So what we're going to do instead is get the House of Scribes for that extra science, get Flood Irrigation to start filling out some more of these slots, because I am starting to run low on food. We do need to claim some of these other things here. I'm going to go ahead and buy that silk. Okay, people starting to get swordsmen. Still need that last militarist Aristar. Should have had it a while ago, to be honest. Okay, and you do want wheel for roads. Masonry is not as important to me. I mean, I am playing the Mycenaeans, right? So I have quite a few like mountains and stuff being exploited, but I really value being able to travel between my cities quickly. We're declared by Babylonians. Let's see, what's my actual deployment? Yeah, I can take this fight. Oh wait, they're a reinforcement? Well, that's dumb. Why that they should have been in the deployment zone. All I want is a little bit... I want a little bit more consistency in terms of what's what sometimes. It doesn't always make a lot of sense. Okay. Oh, these are archers. Okay. Thought they were another Promakoi. Let's see. I'm going to retreat here. I have rounds to take my flag back if they take it. I'm more worried about doing as much damage to them as possible. It's possible they survive, okay. Unless they use their javelin throwers here to finish it, which they don't. So what I can do now is move him back here. And this guy's still going to be zone of controlled by my Promakoi here, so I take out these warriors first, because they're closer to the flag and I don't want to go deal with them. There we go. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. Alright. Playing too messy. Now, who are the Babylonians? Them? Yeah. Okay, so they have swordsmen now, which makes my life somewhat difficult. They're going to try to march down to Memphis, which currently doesn't have any population. Okay, let's get that House of Scribes. Got my Militarist Star. I'd really like to get that Builder Star, but I'm not going to worry about that at this point. So options, Achaemenids would be great for that city cap, and Immortals are obviously excellent. Romans would also be pretty good. Greeks would be good for the hoplites. Goths, I can't build the Gothic cavalry. I could go for the Morians, but I don't want to spend the time researching the tech for Somnahaya. The Achaemenids and Greeks honestly look the most appealing. I'm going to go for the Achaemenids. I just think that +2 city cap's too important in this situation. Come on, let me at least like combine my units. Stupid instant moving AI. It's okay. All these units are next to each other now, so we should be okay. Alright, Memphis. It's not too bad there. I prefer this position, though, because I'm not eating up a river tile. Satrap's Palace is actually kind of underrated, in my opinion. You can get a lot of influence out of it. The thing is like, any quarter that you can build that produces outputs not related to your primary affinity are better than the equivalent output when they are related to your primary affinity. Because when you are, say, a merchant, the amount of money you need to get your Aristars is higher, so you need to be producing more money. So the Satrap Palace actually produces like an equivalent amount of influence as like an aesthete's quarter, which means you're more likely to get your influence stars than if you were actually an aesthete. which is really, really backwards, and it's a problem for aesthetes in particular. The stars are a little too hard to get, in my opinion. We do need to build this out a little bit, so I'll put the Satrap's Palace there. Okay, let's combine these guys. And yeah, that's kind of what I assumed they would be doing. And now we have an attack here from 2 full armies, okay. Levies. I'm going to... No, so I'm going to let Promakoi absorb the brunt of the assault because they have that champion, not promotion, the champion trait. Go for patriotic. So they have the champion trait, which means they're stronger on the first round of combat, so I'm going to let them absorb hits on the first round. Okay, we need to deal with these javelin throwers for sure. Once I kill the javelin throwers, this fight's pretty much over. Ah, those are my levies. All right. So let's go for these javelin throwers first. I'm gonna bring these guys back and attack from there. Then I'm going to block from right here. Take out those warriors. We'll get an attack on the javelin thrower so we can knock them out next turn. Now I will probably lose this Promakoi right here. They took quite a bit of damage on their attack. Yeah, that's okay. For a battle of this size, losing 1 unit, it really is not that big of a deal. It is going to hurt me a little bit trying to deal with the Babylonians, though, who I was definitely not expecting them to declare war on me. Don't care if I lose the levies, so I'm going to bring them up here, and they'll absorb a hit for me. I'll just lose a population on my city that only had 1 pop. It's really not that big of a deal. Alright, so I should be able to take care of these guys now. There's a chance I lose my units if I attack there, so I'm not going to. Okay. So the Babylonians might be able to just walk right into Memphis here, which is obviously an issue for me, but honestly at the moment there's not a lot I can do about that. Now I can start working on another army. Are these all swordsmen? Yeah. So I am going to get some more units here. I have invited constant warfare with all my neighbors upon myself. Yeah, so there's Memphis. We'll take it back. For some reason, they don't have any movement, which doesn't make any sense to me, because I was defending. Okay, let's take out Knock here. Kind of just chilling in a location that I don't want them. Come on, there we go. And once we combine these armies, I should be able to take care of Babylon pretty easily. Okay, there are war supports falling, so we're okay there. So we do have to manage both of these wars at the same time and try to get all this crap going. Put a turn into temple, because why not? So need to go into standing army, for sure, for those immortals. And we need to heal. Okay, it's able to one-turn these guys, which is good. We want to avoid the Cyclopean Fortress, since this city currently belongs to the Babylonians. That Cyclopean Fortress is going to zone of control me, so we're just going to walk right around that. Right there is fine. Okay, and up here. You're all going to chill out. Hattusa, you are going to build me Satrap's Palace right there. Let's walk right back into Memphis. Okay, they're not going to go for an attack, which is weird. Alright, and you can go back to... Let's see. I do need more food in here. I am working 4 river tiles, so flood irrigation will at least support another pop. We'll want that gold as well. Just claim that right there for the instant claim, and that will let us get that and get horses. And we got 4 more turns on standing army. 19 food there, wow. That's a lot. I think that's worth it. Let's get that under construction. What is this? Another army? Jeez. I'm going to move this before I accept this fight, just in case there's any funny business. Okay, manual battle. These guys hang out behind my front line, give them some combat adjacency bonuses. Okay, these guys are dead next turn. So are one of my levies, apparently. Right, so they're getting the bonus from being in forest here. Because there is like a forest right on that tile. So they had higher combat strength, which is why they were so difficult to kill. Too bad I'll be losing population here. It really sucks. But gotta do what you gotta do. Let's run back this way. Put a new unit in there, 2 tank shots. And we need to get up to the javelin throwers up here. No reason to attack, I don't think. Okay, that is a very strange move. I don't know why they did that. Might kill them. Yeah, there we go. Attack the javelin throwers. Get a rear attack here. Attack here, and then rear attack right there. Alright. Okay. This is quickly getting a lot to manage, but this is why we built so many units. Okay, definitely want my archers in the back here. Want a unit right here to provide some combat adjacency to these other units. That looks good. Oh, those are levies. I thought those were my Promakoi in that position. So we're going to need to fire on these swordsmen here because they have high ground. We're going to swap around these levies for my Promakoi. We'll take an attack while I still have the champion buff. See, that's even terrain. I'm just going to leave it. I'll need health to reinforce this front line at some point. Ah, they're going for a rear attack. Okay. They should be fine. Then I can pull them back, pull him up, move my levies here. Just cycle your units around to maintain their health. That's how you win wars, right? Is the long war of attrition. Ah, I forgot to shoot with this other archer. That's okay. Okay. Come on. Take that attack right there. We'll split our fire here. I think they should die on the next round when they just ran into us. Just trying to preserve health because the enemy is playing very aggressively against me, actually. There we go. There's a win. Good thing we got that non-aggression pact with the Celts. So the question is, do I go after the Olmecs or do I go after the Babylonians? I think I go after the Olmecs, right? They're higher in fame. And they're also a little easier, let's be real. Okay, a lot of stuff I need in here. I could disband a unit. I think that's probably worth it to get more pops in here. I really need to get Mikane rolling. Alright, more on science is good. I'm going to buy flood irrigation. And I'm going to skip that artisan's quarter 13 turns for Temple with 110 production. Feels like a lot. Let's bring it down to 6. Leadership. +1 city cap. I don't need the city cap yet, but I do want that extra +4 influence on emblematic district. So I will take that right now. A little bit of science osmosis. Okay, Temple of Artemis in 4 turns. I think that sounds okay. Get a Satrap Palace there as well. So 2 Satrap Palaces adjacent to each other is very nice. Drop you on... Let's see, does production affect this much? If I move everyone onto production, can I knock some turns off? No, I can't. So let's keep them on science. Hattusa, you're on science as well. Need animal barns in here too, we'll add that. And I'm going to start making my way up to San Lorenzo. Now I need to be careful with this because I can't meet up with my main force. So I'm just going to go 1 tile at a time so I don't accidentally run into a set of bad guys. Kind of tempting to recruit them, honestly. Just to make sure they're not pillaging my stuff, but I don't need to worry about it quite yet. Alright. Let's start heading over this way. I can upgrade to swordsmen now, which swordsmen are just better than champions. They have higher combat strength and it's always applicable. So I'm going to upgrade ones that have low health first because it instantly heals them. And one nice thing about playing the Achaemenids is that with the Satrap's Palace, you do get a little bit of that extra gold to help support your army. Okay. Memphis. Right there looks okay. Prioritize that. And we'll drop it. Yeah, that's luxury right here, and that does count as a market quarter, so we'll drop that right there. Now, as far as tech, we do really want philosophy for the extra science. We also want hydrology, but I think philosophy is more important here. Might turn like Hattusa or something into a research center. Definitely has to be one of these cities, though. Maybe we can take that. Like, we finish Temple of Artemis and then go for another army down here. Don't have any immortals yet. Let's grab those. And an archer. I think that would actually work out well. Attach this territory and use this as a 4th city. Alright. Damn it, are you kidding me? That is very frustrating. That very, very frustrating. Okay. Well, guess we are going for Babylon. I don't want to declare another war at the moment, because I do need to spend some time actually, like, building up my own infrastructure, right? So don't get lured into doing nothing but warfare. Okay. That war resolved. Okay, so let's bring these guys back, I suppose. Little bit of silliness going on here, just running back and forth. Unclaimed Wonder, could go for Lighthouse. I'm going to maybe forego that. I know Lighthouse, I'm pretty sure Lighthouse still has the bug where it gives +1 combat strength on land units, but I'd rather save my influence for other things at the moment. Specifically, perhaps like founding a new city or something along those lines. Okay, there's philosophy. And let's roll up here. Have some supporting units on the high ground. This should be a pretty easy take. Can I attack from there? No. Alright. They shouldn't be able to attack me there, so I'm going to deploy my archers on this area up here, and then kind of move them up in that direction. Okay, so Promakoi first, and then we move through the zone of control like that. We'll have to move that archer onto that spot there. Then we move this Promecoy down here. We deploy this archer, who will move up here, and then we deploy our next Promecoy. The sequencing does matter. You can get stuck on, you can get stuck not bringing in your reinforcements if you don't sequence their order correctly. So make sure you're paying attention to that when you're in a conflict and when you're bringing in reinforcements. Okay, they have one swordsman, which is fine. It's really not an issue. Just roll right in there. Crush those swordsmen with our own. And there we go. There's San Lorenzo. Alright. How's their war support? Gonna take a little bit. Really? They're attacking me again? I'm gonna lose that battle, so I'm just gonna instant resolve. Alright, well, I have to start heading back over to Hattusa now. Oh, boy. This is just never gonna end, is it? I do want to finish the Satrap's Palace because it gives me another tile to play with in my defense. Alright. Let's pick up Hydrology, another core technology. And start moving back this way once again. And just this same old nonsense. Just gonna instant resolve. Are they standing on my... I can't tell if that's an outpost or is that a fortress. That's an outpost, okay. Okay, and I need to defend this city as well, because they're going to try to walk back in there. Alright. This would be nice. But I don't want to lose all that extra influence output. I think that's too important. So I'm going to, well, let me think about that. No, because I am struggling a little bit. And they keep, like, taking over my cities because I can only be in so many places at once. So let's go for the war support when winning a battle. We are going to lose a lot of influence output, but there are other ways to recover it. Okay, get back over here. So in this city, these guys should be enough to hold by themselves. So let's go take our city back. And down here, we're getting another army up that'll go take back Memphis. Okay, they're attacking me for some reason. And my units are deployed in like the most ridiculous possible way. We're actually going to let the Promecoy take the brunt of the attack here, right? Because they're basically equivalent to swordsmen on the first round of combat. So I'll let them take damage on the first round. And then let's bring my archers in. Should be able to kill these guys pretty easily. Back here, move these guys up. Okay, not quite killing him, but he'll suicide this turn, I'm sure. Or he'll somehow ignore like the entirety of zone of control and completely go around me. Excellent. I got lucky my archer didn't die there. Alright. Down here, that looks fine. And we'll go take back Memphis once again. What? Oh, they have their army coming this way. Alright. Well, good thing I kind of intercepted them there. This one's a bit weird. We really would prefer to deploy this immortal back here rather than in front. But we cannot do that. So we'll back this guy up, and then we'll have high ground where we have our bastion effect. Alright, so we just hold this one tile choke point here. Yeah, I can take these attacks. I want to finish this battle as soon as possible, because this is stopping production in my capital at the moment. Yeah, didn't kill him. There was a chance, technically. And up here... I need these as reinforcements, but I'd also be giving up San Lorenzo. I think I can afford... Yeah, I have to give it up. Okay, you go behind, like right there. Then they should struggle a bit to move through here. It's possible this archer dies. It's possible. Yeah, but... Where... I just don't understand where all these units are coming from. They only have one city, as far as I can tell. Why don't I get a rear attack there? Oh, I see. They're facing that direction. Okay, let's get my swordsman in here. Let's get this archer. I need to focus on this area right here. Because I need to be able to claim my flag again. I don't want to attack with them. I'm going to bring these Promakoi in, like right here, just as a barrier. Move him there for combat strength bonuses. And then I can bring my archer in now that I've fully blocked off access to my units. Might be able to kill him. I like doing no damage. Really unlucky. Okay. Sure. Alright. Shoot the swordsman there. Now, I can't get a high ground attack there, but I think I lose these units if I do, so I'd really prefer to back up. So that is what I'm going to do. So let's move these guys. I think they can hold here, though. So kill these swordsmen. Move these guys back onto the flag. Alright, end turn. And move these archers up. Just make sure there's no shenanigans where my units die. Alright. And, alright. This is insane. I've never had the opening to a game go like this before. I've never had to deal with this many units. Go ahead and shoot these swordsmen here. At least I'm getting my militarist stars. Okay, they don't want to come fight me anymore, which is completely understandable. But I need this combat to be over this turn, so. Alright. Could you not? Alright. We'll let them heal, and then if we need to, we can pay to heal. Up here. Looks like they didn't attack, which is kind of weird. And if I go in here, and then go up here, to get a rear attack on both of these, which should be enough to kill them, unless I get unlucky, which I do, of course. Okay. Alright. Now let's walk back in here. Really need to combine these armies or something. I'm getting slowly attritioned down. And their war support going down. Yeah, that's why. So this is why I took the that Civic, right? Is I knew something like this was going to happen. Anyway, I really need to cut the episode somewhere. This is as good a spot as any to do it. This is some real craziness, to be honest. Let's get this infrastructure going. So we'll see how I deal with the rest of this craziness in the next episode. See you then.